Good morning. It's probably just good morning for me. But it's Sunday morning and I wanted to do a challenge, which I did kind of fail this morning already before I started recording, but I was planning on doing, I was planning on doing, for a whole week, a challenge where I wake up and I read for an hour before I start my day to see if that inclines me to read a bit more than what I normally do. And when I woke up, I just started scrolling through social media, and that's what I'm trying to prevent. But I stopped myself. I think I only did it for like 3 minutes. So I'm gonna sit here and I'm going to read for the next hour. And I think it'll be more of a challenge during the weekday when I go to work, just because I'm gonna have to wake up earlier to get that done. But it's hopefully gonna motivate me to actually wake up on time, because last week I was oversleeping by like a whole hour, so I was constantly like late to work. But yeah, it's a good challenge. It'll make me more productive and hopefully read more, since last week I barely read and I have all those books to get through. So what I plan on reading right now, what I plan on reading right now is this one, 1,000 Boy Kisses. I only read one chapter so far, so I definitely want to try to tackle this a little bit more from my TBR. So that's what I plan on reading for the next hour, and I'll update you guys when I'm done. Alright, it's much later in the day now, like a lot later. I did a lot of cleaning since today's Sunday, and that's kind of the day that I do cleaning around the home. And this morning when I did my hour-long reading, I was able to read 2 more chapters of this book. So I didn't get too much further into it, but I mean enough of a good portion. And today, since it's the weekend, I didn't really have anything to be up exactly to do. So reading for an hour wasn't that hard. I think the only thing was that my cat just wanted to eat when I woke up. So I had to pause halfway between at the 30-minute mark to feed my cat, and I ate myself, and then I returned back to reading. So I'm interested to see what it's going to be like for the weekdays when I have work. Speaking of the cat, she's meowing at the door. But I'm definitely interested to see if it'll get me to read more. I feel like obviously it has to, since I'm setting aside an hour every single day to read, and normally I don't set aside time. I think after this one, maybe we can do an hour before going to bed and see which one I like better. But so far, waking up in the morning for today, it was actually really nice to not jump onto social media, even though I did for like a split second, and then I remembered I wanted to do this. But it was really nice to connect with the book first, instead of just looking at what everyone else is doing and who's texting me and who posted and stuff like that. So I'll see how it goes later throughout the week to see if I still feel the same way or if I just miss jumping on social media. But it could be a nice like week detox from social media first thing in the morning, and see if that puts me in like a better mood throughout the day. But yeah, I just want to do a little update so you know how it went for Sunday. I'll probably read a bit more tonight. I don't know if I want to read this or read the ebook that I picked for November's TBR. So I guess I'll update you tomorrow morning on what I ended up reading and let you know where we're at. It's Monday morning. It's like 5:30. I love the way we get to see how my hair looks in the morning. Braids are still holding up, but I am so tired. I was supposed to get up a little bit earlier, but I kept snoozing the alarm, but I still should have enough time to read for an hour. I was maybe pushing it, but that's okay. So I'll get started on that and I'll update later today. I'm not sure when, maybe after work or during my lunch. So I'll get started. 1 hour. My cat is being so clingy right now. Let's see. The lighting's probably really horrible, but it can't be worse than this morning. But I wanted to do a quick update. I think starting off the day by reading was actually really, really nice. And I'm actually looking forward to doing it again tomorrow morning. The only dreaded part is the fact that I have to wake up a whole hour earlier because I just be so tired in the morning. Like, it's so hard for me to get up. Like, I don't mess around about my sleep. Isn't that right, Juno? I'm just always tired and I'm always wanting to sleep. But I actually really like that I started out with reading instead of jumping on my phone, even though after I went reading I went through my notifications just because I like to clear them out. I don't like having notifications. But I did get more chapters done into the book. I think I got an extra like 3 chapters, so I'm actually almost 100 pages in the book. And then a little bit last night I picked up the kind of like I mentioned, I picked up the, it's not a Kindle, I don't have a Kindle, I'm not fancy enough, but the Amazon like reader Fire tablets to read my ebook. And so I'm really liking that. I'm about almost halfway through. I think the last I checked I was at 44% for that book. So I'm making my way through my TBR jar picks, which is exciting, even though we're already over halfway through the month and I have not finished a single book. I just was not feeling it this month, I guess. That's okay. We can carry it over to the next month after. But yeah, I just wanted to do a quick update on how it felt kind of waking up in the morning and reading. I will probably be reading more tonight, even though I should probably do some schoolwork, but I'm just really enjoying both of the books that I'm reading right now, and I just want to keep picking them back up. So we'll see how tomorrow morning goes. Let's see if I can actually wake up on time. I did read for the full hour, and I actually made it on work on time, surprisingly. But that's probably because it was a Monday, and I feel like a lot of people call off on Monday, that there's not as many people on the road, I've noticed. So maybe tomorrow on a Tuesday, there may be more people on the road. So I need to make sure that I don't wake up late. So we'll see how that goes. I'll update you tomorrow morning then. Good morning again. I know I didn't talk much yesterday. Today is Wednesday morning. This morning was the hardest morning to get up. So exhausted, but an hour, we're gonna do it. I didn't do any updates yesterday, but I finally made it to over 100 pages in this book. So I'm pretty sure I'll get even further today. I'm just so tired of like my thoughts. So I'll probably just update later. That way it makes more sense and then I can actually talk about the book. But for now, let's get to reading. Alright, so I wanted to do a quick check-in because I feel like I haven't really talked much, but it's so hard waking up. I think I've been getting up at like 5:20 in the morning, and then at 6:20 I stop reading, and then I get ready and for work and I go to work. So I don't have enough time in the morning to talk about the books, and then kind of throughout the day I kind of forget until I have to wake up in the next morning. But so far, I've actually really been enjoying getting up and the first thing I do is reading. It's actually so nice, and I like that there's that dedicated time for me to read. Otherwise, I kind of feel like, oh, I just don't have the time. I have been reading a little bit before I go to bed too, I think just because I'm really into the books that I'm reading. So I want to talk a bit about them. I don't really want to give any like spoiler details just in case anybody hasn't read anything. But I started with this one throughout the major part of the week. So I think Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, maybe Wednesday. I can't really remember. I'll remember when I edit this that I was reading this book. And I'm not exactly halfway through. I'm very close to being halfway through. I kind of predicted the big, I don't know if you'd call it a twist, but like the big plot of this book. Which my detective skills are on point. But that was it was kind of nice to predict it. But I'm really liking it. I just kind of felt like I didn't want to pick this up just because it was feeling really sad, and I don't want to like wake up and just read something that's sad. So I decided to stop this one and go into my little e-reader and read. It's called The Marked Mages, and it's the 4th and final book of her series. And then I don't have the cover right now because I'm like in the middle of reading. But I'm on page 482 out of 840, so I'm 58% of the way through. And this is the book that if you watched my TBR jar where I said it was like a really long book, but I was already like in the process of reading it. And it's just so easy to read on like an e-reader because I like to make my words really big and then I can just like fly through like swiping them. And this one I've been really, really liking, that I feel like this was an easier read to pick up in the morning. And I'm just so attached to the characters already because we're on the 4th book. It's the last one of the series and I'm so sad. I'm just so sad. I don't want it to end. I love the characters. So I want to take my time with it. I don't want to like finish it this month, but I'm also just like loving it so much that I just want to keep reading it. So I'm like torn. I'm like, do I keep going or do I like hold off? I think that's also a big part of why I did stop the book from when I started reading it, because I just didn't want it to end, because I'll never be able to read this series again for the first time ever. And it's just, I really like the book. I recommend it if you guys want a good e-reader book, because it's only on Amazon. Like you can't buy like a physical copy of the book, but it's by Victoria Evers. I think it's called The Marked Mages Chronicles, and she has another series that she just started, and there's only one book out, and I love that one too. So I love everything that she makes. So it's very supernatural, witchy, kind of witchy. I mean, mages are witches, but very supernatural elements. I really, really like it. I highly recommend it if you're into things like that, and it's very like romance centered. So I love a good romance book. So I'm really liking both of my reads. I'm definitely going to finish this before the end of the month. I really like it. It just felt too sad to do in the morning, but I'll definitely be picking it up for later in the day, just not first thing when I wake up. I don't want to be crying. But so far it's Friday. I only have one more day. I just have tomorrow to wake up and read. And I think that this was such a nice challenge to do. I don't necessarily think that I'm going to keep doing that, because every day it got harder and harder to keep waking up. Like today I almost didn't do it. I was like, no, I can't. Like I'm gonna have to like come on here and tell you guys that I failed. But I somehow was able to get myself to open my eyes and read. And I think it's all because I changed the book to the e-reader book. It was just so much easier to read that instead of picking up a physical copy and trying to see the small words on the page. Like it was just so hard. But that's my little update. I'll be going out tonight, so won't be reading, and then tomorrow I'll read in the morning. I won't really have much time, probably the rest of the weekend, but I'm really hoping to get more of my TBR jar November reads kind of started, even though we're already on the 22nd. The month is basically over. I'm like, where did the time go? I feel like all I did was schoolwork and go to work. Oh well, I'll just carry them over, but so far, loving the challenge. 1 day left. I can do it. Every single day, reading for 1 hour. Alright, just here to wrap up the video. I successfully made it a whole week of reading for 1 hour every single morning, and it was definitely a challenge. That is really hard, to just wake up a whole hour earlier than I already do to read. I would definitely recommend the challenge, maybe not for 1 hour, maybe 15 minutes to 30 minutes. And I think going forward, I may incorporate that. I really did like waking up and reading instead of just going straight on my phone. So we'll see how I feel next week. It shouldn't be as bad because next week is Thanksgiving, but I don't think that I'm going to be waking up and reading in the morning. Definitely not for 1 hour, just because I want to sleep. It was so hard. That was the hardest part of waking up, was just that I was just so tired. It had nothing to do with reading. My books were amazing. I love them, but I was just so tired. I felt like my eyes just wanted to close, and half the time I felt like I couldn't exactly concentrate on the books. I was just thinking about how tired I am, and my mind was still almost in dreamland, so it's just kind of like spacing out. But I do recommend this challenge if anybody wants to try it. Maybe not for 1 hour. Maybe you could do like 30 minutes every morning, but I really enjoyed it. I'm glad I got the chance to do it. It really pushed me to set a time on reading to get more of it done, especially since this month I feel like I haven't exactly been productive in my reading. But now I'm working my way through 2 good books that I feel very motivated to finish these probably within this next week. Not sure about that e-reader book because it is almost 800 pages, but for sure the physical copy of the book that I have, I'll probably be finishing very soon. But that's all I have for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm so sorry that there probably wasn't that much talking every single day because it was so hard when I'm so tired at like 5 in the morning that I'm like, I just need to let them know or let you guys know that I am reading, but I'm so tired I don't want to record anything. So hopefully it was enough information for you to see that I did read every single day for a whole hour. It definitely felt accomplishing for me. So let me know what you guys think. If you read any of the books that I was reading, if you've ever done this challenge, if you would do this challenge, and if there's another challenge that you think I should try, I'm definitely all for it. But you can go ahead and like and subscribe if you'd like. It's nice to see the people who have subscribed and liked and commented. I'm really, really thankful for it. I'm just trying to find people who are interested in what I'm interested in, and it's kind of nice to know that there's a possibility of like building a community of people who like what I like. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll leave my socials in the description in case you guys want to follow me. There's Goodreads, Instagram. I'm not really on anything else. But thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.